Hello everyone, my name's Cliff. Welcome back to my channel, Cliff's Dark Gems. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today's video will be in three parts. First of all, we'll look at the year that's been. We're going to look at the year to come and my reading goals. And then we're going to be looking at my first ever TBR in January. First of all, 2019 to 2022. I can't really talk about just one year. Those have been difficult years. I know that a lot of people have been very stressed. There's a lot that's been happening. And I have to say personally that one thing that has been a bit of a saving grace for me has been tuning in on YouTube and looking at the voices on BookTube, discussing books, discussing life, and it's really helped me as a human being. In fact, there's some voices that have been shining through that have made me really reflect on my personal life and on my personal choices. I'm not going to give big shout outs in this video. There's so many of them, I don't want to leave people out. But I think in future videos I'm definitely going to do that. So just to say that BookTube has been, this year, a bit of a saving grace for me in many ways. Okay, moving on. This next year, my reading plans. There's three things I want to talk about. First of all, I received this beautiful year planner from my wife for Christmas. And this is going to be my BookTube Bible, where I'm going to basically write all my ideas for videos and ideas for weekly planning for my BookTube videos. I plan to do at least 3 videos a week. I know it sounds a lot, but that's what I'm going to go for. And I'm planning on reading at least 10 books, hopefully more, hopefully 15 to 20 books a month. I know that sounds a lot, but I have got time on my hand. And I want to read different kinds of books. I don't want to read just horror. I want to read thrillers, crime. I want to read some more fantasy. I haven't read fantasy for a long time. And I want to include at least one non-fiction book in that list every month. Okay, so starting off with my TBR for January. I'm going to start off with some big books. They're not so much books as deadly weapons. This has been mentioned so many times. Simmons The Terror. I'm going to give it a go. I've owned it for a long time now. I've felt a little bit intimidated by the size, but I'm going to give it a good go now. I've heard it is brilliant. I've read Dan Simmons' what was it? That vampire thing that he did. Never mind with that. But I'm going to give this a go. This is about the Franklin expedition into the Arctic, where people they get trapped there, people start freezing to death, they start starving to death as supplies dwindle out, and there's a nameless terror that is basically creeping up on them and stalking them. So this sounds like an amazing story. I'm going to read this. I promised myself that I want to read at least one Stephen King book a month, and for this month I'm going to go with 11/22/63. This is not a horror novel. This, as far as I can understand, this is a love story stroke time travel novel. And it's about a teacher that goes back in time to prevent the JFK assassination, and it just sounds fascinating and it's something different, and I love Stephen King, so I'm going to give this a try. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3, this is fast becoming my favourite author. He did both Swan Song, Robert McCammon Swan Song, and Boy's Life, and this is his first collection of short stories that I'm going to give a go. So yeah, really looking forward to this, and I love the cover as well. Okay, next, Joe R. Lansdale. I've only read one other book by him, and a short story. His writing is twisted and sick, but hilariously funny. A lot of his characters, I think his whole thing is about the deep south, Texas. This is a crime mystery. I don't know a lot about it, but if it's anything like the other book that I've read by him, I'm really going to enjoy this one. Right, then we're going to get my first ever encounter with deep body horror. This is Nic Cutter The Troop. This is one of the newer titles on my list. It's about a group of Boy Scouts who go camping with their camp master, and they're sitting around the fire one night, and an unwanted visitor stumbles into the campsite carrying some kind of a virus, and from what I know, all bloody hell breaks loose from there. So this sounds like a lot of fun. Apparently it's not for the squeamish, but I'm not squeamish. Okay, and then I've got two books, and I'm busy reading the entire series recommended by Ollie from Charnel. I actually will link below, because he has, this is his favorite crime series. I think there's about 53, 54 books in the series, and I have said that I will read every month. I will read at least 2 of these books until I finish the series. It's the 13th Precinct series, and the first one is Con Man, and then there's The Pusher. Then a nice little nasty demon story from Masterton, Charnel house. Check this cover out, where a demon gets out of a house and all hell breaks loose. This looks like a lot of fun. I read Mirror, which was brilliant, so I'm looking forward to a second Masterton. Okay, we're on the final 2. This is a novelist. This is a novel that I've been looking at for quite a while. The author is author of Let the Right One In, which is one of my favorite horror novels of all time. And this is Handling the Undead. From what I know, it's not about blood, mindless zombies chewing brains and so on. These zombies just pretty harmless. They just wake up from the dead and they're trying to find their way home. And I think this book is about how the government handles them and how it handles the situation with all of the, with the town being overrun by these zombies. So it sounds interesting. Okay. And the final one. I love World War II. This is my non-fiction book. And if any of you have seen that mini-series, Band of Brothers, I think it's my favorite mini-series of all time. This book goes into the truth behind that mini-series, beyond Band of Brothers. And I don't know why I've actually had this for so long, and I haven't looked at it, but this is going to be my final read for January 2023. Well everyone, thank you so much for watching. That is my TBR for January. In fact, it's my very first TBR. I will be giving monthly updates on my readings, and at the end of the month I'll be doing a monthly wrap-up where I'll be telling you a little bit more about how I felt about each of these books, and maybe ranking them and rating them. How many of these books have you read? Let me know in the comments below. Are there any other books that you recommend? Maybe I should be reading in the future. But yeah, thanks very much for hanging out. Please like and subscribe, and if you enjoyed this content, and let me know in the comments below anything you want to talk about. Have a wonderful new year and take care. Keep those pages turning. Cheers.